Learning is recollection. In the course of our exploration, it will be necessary to take advantage of the accumulated results of the ancient records of experience and experimentation. The Indian system of yoga, for example, has been looked upon as a systematic study of experimental or practical psychology, and the ancient yogic knowledge is being revived today in the interests of advancing knowledge. In the same way, we should be scrupulous in examining some of those theories of psychology and education which were developed in the past in the West. Socrates and Plato should receive our utmost attention. It is for this reason that we have selected here an extremely instructive passage from Plato's dialogue, Meno, which expounds the startling view that learning is recollection. Plato also held the view that behind our physical body is an inner soul or psyche, and that this soul has the knowledge of the realm of ideas, which in physical existence is lost in forgetfulness. According to Plato, this forgotten knowledge can be recovered, and the process of learning is actually a process of recollection. Platonic philosophy has played a major role in the history of Western thought, and all great Western thinkers since the time of Plato have acknowledged their indebtedness to him. This also holds true for Plato's theory of education. Plato's insights into the process of learning are so profound that even those who disagree with him admit the importance and significance of his philosophy of education. Apart from Meno, which deals specifically with education, Plato has discussed his theory of learning in several other dialogues. The main speaker of these dialogues is Socrates, and Plato has portrayed him as a great teacher. Socrates often discusses questions such as, what is a teacher? What is a philosopher? What is knowledge? What is virtue? Is virtue knowledge? Can virtue and knowledge be taught? The very method that Socrates employed in tackling the questions provides a luminous insight into how a good teacher should go about his business. We find Socrates in constant search of definitions, in search of the essential meaning of things. He is prepared to discuss a question from all points of view. He examines every possible argument as well as every possible objection against it. He leads each participant in the dialogue from stage to stage through a process of gradual clarification, and the conclusions emerge inevitably as all the threads of the discussion are brought together into a large synthesis. Presenting a thesis, confronting it with an antithesis, and arriving at a synthesis. This, in fact, is the heart of the Socratic method. Socrates believed that the soul of man is immortal, and although at one time it comes to an end, at another it is born again and is never finally exterminated. Thus, says Socrates, if we try hard enough, we can recollect what our souls knew in former lives. He illustrates this by making one of Meno's slaves, a completely uneducated lad, reason out facts about squares and triangles by himself. He is able to do this, Socrates says, because the truths his soul knew before birth still exist in it and can be recalled.